Republican presidential frontrunner, because he's talked about it, we've told you over and over, is skipping the debate tonight. He'll speak to those auto workers in Michigan instead. Former President Trump this week has been, squaring off, if you will, with the current president, Joe Biden, who joined the picket line with United Auto Workers yesterday. Meantime, the UAW president telling CNN last night he sees no point in meeting with Trump today because he serves the billionaire class. UAW is still holding off on an official endorsement of either candidate. All right, with us now to discuss this 2024 field and more, former United States Senator from the state of Colorado, Cory Gardner, and former Congressman from the state of Pennsylvania, Joe Sestak. Thank you, both of you, for being with us here this afternoon. So, all right, the way it's shaping up, and I suppose, Senator Gardner, I can start with you on this, is that we're going to get all these debates on the Republican side. There's going to be no President Trump in those debates. Instead, you have the current president, the former president out in the state of Michigan going back and forth with the auto workers. So that's the real campaign right now, right, for 2024 in the state of Michigan.
Not if you ask voters in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, those early states who have had a chance to see the other candidates. That's why President Trump's lowest numbers, albeit, yes, still leading, are in those states, those early states. But it's below, in many cases, 50%. More than half of the voters in those states are willing to entertain somebody else. And we're still a long ways. It doesn't seem like that on the calendar, but in time, you've got opportunities to move forward. And that's why I think Tim Scott, people like Tim Scott, who'll be able to show how conservative they are, the fact that they can lead with faith and opportunity, are going to continue to rise in the polls as we get to January.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Senator Scott can break out tonight. Certainly there's that possibility. There was a lot of talk about Nikki Haley last time. There's this idea that there's a lot of pressure on Ron DeSantis. You hear all of these storylines going in. But if you look, Congressman Sestak, of what the former president has said, and we'll put up his comments from his social media platform, Truth Social, he called these debates meaningless. He says, it doesn't mean anything because he's so far ahead in the polls. So from where you sit, waiting for a possible repeat of Trump versus Biden, is he right? Is what's happening on the Republican side meaningless? Of Congressman Sestak, do you hear us up? Yeah, I had a feeling something was going on. His shot went out right then. I said, it could have been something I said. I never had a problem with the people in Pennsylvania before, but, maybe back in way years ago, I might have said something about Joe Sestak, but you, Senator Gardner, are still with us. I'll just throw the same question. The congressman might be back in a moment. That is the question, though, right? Is he right, President Trump, that this is all meaningless? Doesn't mean anything right now at all because he's way ahead. Senator Scott, you talked about these people have no chance.
Well, look, this is the dog ate my homework excuse, right? If I don't turn in my exam, what am I going to say? And so if you decide not to go to a debate, well, of course you try to spin it as, well, the debates don't matter. But again, I go back to what you're seeing in the places where candidates like Tim Scott have been. They have been able to get their message out. That's why they do better there than they do in other states that are not the early states. And that's why you see their numbers rise and you continue to see, yes, ahead.
Let's talk about that a little bit because we have the numbers up, Senator. And it's interesting. Tim Scott, that's your guy, right? Tim Scott in this race. But
yes.
What's the viable path? How do you get from where they are? Because people look at this and say, come on, they have no chance, 6%, 5%, 2%, whatever it may be. And the second candidate's usually maybe at best 15. How do you get from where they are to where they want to be? What's the actual way it's going to happen?
Look at the race where we were several years ago in 2016. Look where people thought President Trump would be. Look where people thought Hillary Clinton versus Barack Obama would be. And then all of a sudden, Iowa happens. And it changes the game. Maybe Ted Cruz wins Iowa and he doesn't go on to win somewhere else. And so, look, this is I think that's why we are in this, right? It's not because we know exactly how this is going to unfold. We do know, though, that if you're able to take Tim Scott and get him in front of as many people across this country as possible, that they will vote for him. Right. And that's why he has better numbers than you showed in Iowa. He has better numbers than those that you showed in other states because they've spent time there. And these debates, there was voters this morning on the television talking about how they were really tuning in so that they could hear what other candidates have to say so they could make up their mind. Look, this is not a foregone conclusion. This race isn't over, but it obviously there is a leader. But I think that will and is going to change.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.